I first want to show you within Business Central some of the reporting tools that are available. So I'm in right now in our Silverleaf application within Business Central, and I'm in a role center, you'll see, which is kind of like the home page for someone who works in cultivation. Our previous webinars didn't really cover cultivation very much, so I thought today we'd talk more, use cultivation as kind of the basis because that seems to be so data centric. So in my dashboard, I can see some important information about what's going on. And in fact, here I have a little business intelligence right here. I have a graphic showing me about my current plants that are in production. Now, bear with me. I have a habit of starting grow processes in my sample data and not ending them. So I know it doesn't take a year and a half to harvest something. That said, let's go ahead and look here. I see that I have within the vegetative phase 182 plants that are Blue Dream. And I can click on that and see all my Blue Dream that I'm growing right now. And when I open up this one batch, I can see all the plants in the batch. And notice if I'm tied into metric, I've got metric tag information about those plants. And from here, I can even go in and view the order and see information about this cultivation process. And as the screen's filling down here at the bottom, we can see, again, details about all the plants. And maybe, I don't know if I had any destruction, but if I had maybe destroyed some plants or turned some plants into mothers, we'd see that here. So we can see the disposition of every tag in this batch. And then down here, I can see based on, there's a whole bunch of settings in Silverleaf where we can define what we call our grow defaults, and we can identify what we expect each plant to harvest, what the mortality rates are, et cetera. And so down here at the bottom, based on all those grow defaults, I can see what our expected biomass is going to be, how many grams, how many plants we expect to output. So I've got 81.7 I'm expecting, and 550 grams per plant, which gets me to how much biomass we expect we're going to have. So this is all data. The reason I took a moment to show you this is just to see the sort of wealth of data that's available to us. So one way to get at that data, as I've been doing, is kind of pointing and clicking around. And you'll find that Business Central is a very interactive tool. If I want to know information about my mother plants, I can just click on them and I can quickly get to information without really printing reports like we did in legacy ERP solutions. That said, Business Central has, I just heard this fact this morning, over 880 reports in it. So I can always come into Business Central and print any report if I don't feel like clicking. So I could go, for example, let's actually do an inventory valuation. So I can go ahead and pull up my inventory valuation. I had a button for it on my homepage. And I can pull that valuation as of today. So this will tell me, based on, this is an accountant's dream come true. I can see all my different inventory items, what my quantity on hand is, and their value. And I think in the first webinar in our series, we talked all about the accounting bits. So here's a little bit of information. Again, this is just paper-based reporting. It's also likely that you might be Excel users in your company, and you can create all kinds of reports in Business Central and either export them to Excel or work with an Excel-based report writer. So here's a financial statement that we created for one of our customers, and you'll see we have, what's going on over here? Let me scroll over. There we go. We have a trial balance that shows us, an income statement that shows us some details about this company. We can drill down on it. If you're a cannabis company, you probably have multiple entities. So as I open, I can drill down and see how my parent company broke out into these separate entities. So here we see we have Arizona, Michigan, and California, and our merchandise line. I can also look at our expenses the same way. Scroll over, there we go. So here's all of our expenses. And again, I can open those up by entity as well. And again, this is data that all came from Business Central. We have an Excel-based reporting option. And so you can create your templates in Excel and then hit a button, and those will refresh and populate with current data. A lot of people love Excel, and I know I do, and so that's also a common way to get reports. Next level of sophistication is using something called Microsoft Power BI, which we mentioned in our intro. Power BI is part of the Microsoft Modern Office platform, and it's a productivity tool that I know our company uses for all kinds of things. I probably have 100 Power BI reports at Velocio to help me understand what our business is doing. Similarly, cannabis companies can do the same thing. So I've got two that I'm going to show you today. The first one, I like this one to show you, even though it's not, this is about a horticulture company growing flowers, not cannabis, but you'll get the idea, it's the same thing. I love this report because it shows us all kinds of drill down, and it's got more pretty stuff than some of our other examples. But here you'll see we have different product lines. I can see what our revenue is for the current period, the same period last year, and then like this might be the current year, this is the prior year, and then prior year to date, and then this would be the prior year whole year. If I click on one, notice all my reports filter to that product line, so I can see how we're doing in e-commerce only if I want to. And I can click off of there and get it all back. Here I can see how I'm doing current year versus prior year. So overall, I'm up $730,000 compared to last year. Year to date and overall. If I click on the sales history, here I get, again, just more information. Here I've broken out plants by genus type, and we can see a lot of the same information. If I click on one genus, I can see the different items and their performance over the past 4 years. Some of this data is old, as you can see. And also over here, I can see credits by reason code. So every time we had to give a return to a customer, we have the reason code, and we can see how what's causing that, what's causing these returns. Let's see. So here I can see overall fungus has been a big problem. In this one, I can look at all of our different ship to locations, and here I've got our top customers in a pie chart. And this one, I don't know if anyone uses these things, but they sure are fun to show. Here we've got a map, and I can drill on into the Southwest and see how we're doing in the Southwest, and even zoom in, and I could have little pinpoints of where all of our customers are. So you can do all kinds of visualization right inside of Power BI. As I mentioned, this is just a general horticulture report. Now let's look at one that we've done for cannabis. And again, this is just demo data. But here, if I start out, I can see, let's see, let me drill up a little bit. So here I can see overall for 21 and 22, what our revenue is for the different product categories. So cartridges, edibles, and flour. I can drill down on that and open it up and see within each category, I have subcategories. Within the major categories, I have some subcategories. And within that, I can drill even further to look at the details by strain, or what we call variant. So I've got all this information right on my homepage. Just like I did on that other report, I could click on just one strain, for example, and see how I'm doing by strain, which customers are buying which strain. Or maybe I want to look by salesperson, and now I can see what how Becky's doing compared. I can look at Bill, and maybe we see that one of them isn't promoting one of our product lines enough, and maybe they need training in that product line. I can drill, I can filter on dates, I can really pull this data apart any way I want. I can also look at this report. Again, I can have a different view by salesperson, but again, I can see what Christine's total sales were, and then filter this report to see what she sold by product, and also how her what customers bought. If I open up the customers, again, just like I did before, I can drill in to see what they actually bought. So I've got all kinds of ways I can slice and dice this data. I tried to create, and I did a lot of this myself, and I'm, believe me, not super technical at all. I went into, I created a copy of one tab and created another tab and put some graphs in, because everyone likes to see graphs, so I can see visually how the salespeople are doing in the different product lines. It looks like this gummy. I can't see the whole line. Our orange gummies are quite popular in 10 packs and our licorice gummies in 20 packs. And again, as I click and filter, we can see how interactive the report actually is. So I've created these Power BI reports. Users can come to Power BI and visit their dashboard here. They can also, oops, it went to sleep, hold on. We can also present these reports within Business Central. And if I go ahead and open my Business Central, here you'll see I've got, this isn't a report I showed you before, but I wanted to show you one different one. Here I've got a cultivation analysis report and right in my Business Central homepage. So here I can see the report coming right from Power BI, and this is a report about what's going on in our cultivation. So we get great interactivity. Business Central, therefore Silverleaf, integrates with all of Microsoft Office. So not only does it integrate with Excel and Outlook and Teams, it'll integrate with Power BI right within inside.